Hey y'all, I'm Ash Vampire, and this is the most impromptu vlog ever made. Um, it is it's currently almost 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was editing a fully scripted, fully edited video last night, or at least starting on doing that, and I was just struck by the need and the efficiency that comes with having a sort of editing plan whenever you go into a creative project. And what I use, and what I used for the Eureka 7 hot take video, was a minute a day type of plan. And I think that there's a lot of value in limiting yourself like this, and I know a lot of people would say, "Well, why would you do that? It seems like incredibly arbitrary and unnecessary in a lot of ways, right?" Well, let me spell it out. It is exactly why I stick to this very strict way of doing editing, because at least for me personally, if I don't have a plan for exactly how I'm going to do an editing process, what I'll end up doing is just editing as much as I possibly can in the amount of time that I've got left in the day when I get home from work. And under normal circumstances, for like a shoring up video, this is fine. This works perfectly fine. Shoring up editing is as lazy as it gets. I try to get it done as quickly as possible because they all have to come out, within a week of each other. So I don't put nearly as much effort into them, and I just want to get the points across. So it's a little sloppier. It's a little, it's less precise. But for a fully edited video, when you've got a script to work with, doing it as quickly as possible, getting as much on the timeline edited as you possibly can, is just not conducive to the type of content that a fully scripted video really is. Because when you create a script, you do so with the intent of making it tighter, of making your points as concise as possible, having less repetition, less run-on, less difficulty in communicating the idea. You actually have taken the time to make sure that the idea is communicated in as simple and as direct a way as is feasibly possible. So it makes no sense to then pair something like that with editing that is counterintuitive to that entire message. So what a minute a day lets me do, and what I think it is, well, really why I think that it is valuable for anybody to have a sort of set time limit on how much in a video they're going to edit at any given time, is it allows your editing to become so much tighter and so much more focused. For me, what a minute a day allows is that instead of having the entire timeline open and I could get anywhere from 5 minutes to only 2 minutes done, if I worked on it just as much as possible. Restricting myself to only a single minute means that I am not trying to get as much done as possible, but trying to make that single section, that single 1 minute block, as good as it could possibly be. It means that I do not stop working on that 1 minute time set until I am satisfied with the clip choice, the editing that goes into it, any sort of more complex stuff that goes into exactly how it looks on screen. And this produces better quality, it just helps it become so much more than it could be, than it, because if you're just editing as much as you can all at once, then invariably it's just going to be clip after clip after clip after clip after clip, and that's it. There's not going to be any complexity to it. There's not going to be any creativity or diversity in terms of how you are doing the editing. But if you restrict yourself, if you hold back and you make it into something that you are only allowing yourself a certain amount of time to edit, then you become a lot more focused on making sure that everything within that block is up to par, is up to standard. And because you're also only working with that one particular block of time, you become more creative. You become more, ideas that you would think to yourself under normal circumstances, well, that's going to take too long. Like I just want to get as much done as I can. That particular style would be too much. Well, that's no longer an issue. You're willing to go for those more creative, more time-consuming techniques that you wouldn't otherwise be prone to doing. I just wanted to make this because last night I was just struck by how important it really, really is, and how much better and how much more quality and complexity you get out of restricting yourself like that. And as a final point, restricting yourself to any amount of particular time, and this really only works for video editing, I think, because there's a timeline that you can block out, but I'm sure you can apply this to really any creative pursuit. By restricting yourself to only a set amount of time, this also means that you can plan your day better, like you can come in and say, all right, I'm going to edit my minute today, and as soon as I'm done with that, I have the rest of the day to do anything else that I need to do, anything from, very basic, I have to go run errands, I know I need to go get groceries, or, I need to clean the house, or, even in other creative projects, like I need to record this base footage, or I need to go watch this show, anything like that. Suddenly you have a lot more freedom in being able to set aside time for other things. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about. It really struck me hard, which is why I decided to just turn on the camera and go. So, catch you on the flip side.